Hello, hello. I'm Juliana Hever, the plant-based dietitian, and this is the What Would Juliana Do Q&A. Thank you all so much for your amazing questions that you've reached out via social media and on my website, plantbaseddietitian.com. I'm going to start chipping away and answer as many questions as I can. And so today I'm going to start with one from Cindy. Cindy asked, what/how do you recommend for kids and adults to get their omegas? So Omega-3 and omega-6 are the two essential fats that we need in our diet, and omega-6 is ubiquitous. You can get them everywhere. Omega-3 is kind of a unique situation, especially when you're on a plant-based diet. So we can get them on a plant-based diet in the source of ALA, alpha-linolenic acid, and we could get that in wonderful amounts in stuff like flaxseed, chia seed, hemp seed, soy foods. Those are wonderful sources. And that is, what's interesting about this is you take it in and your body elongates that molecule into EPA and then further elongates it into DHA. And of course, there's various intermediate steps in between, but the body needs those three different types of those different lengths of fatty acid chains for different reasons. So we need to have all of it. So interestingly, when they test the blood of vegans, it looks like vegans have lower levels of the longer chain EPA and DHA because we're not necessarily converting it as much. Does it matter? We don't really know if it matters because, vegan diet has been associated with a decreased risk for things like cardiovascular disease and even Alzheimer's. So these are things that are often associated with those nutrients. So it's important to take those sources of ALA, but it's also something to consider. I recommend my clients take a EPA and DHA microalgae formula so that you can get all of these different forms together at the same time. And so you're gonna have them elongated for you. Basically, that's what fish do. Fish convert the ALA from the microalgae into EPA and DHA, and that's why people have those compounds and then when they consume fish or fish oil. But you could skip the middle fish and you can get this all from a microalgae formula and from those plant sources of the ALA as well. My Thread Creations on Instagram asked, what exercise do you do and how often? And this is a really fun question and there's so much to say about that. I personally, I would like to walk. I like to do walk and jog and a little bit of jogging. I used to run a lot more. And I love to do yoga or stretch and I love to do weight training. That's my favorite thing, and using body weight exercises, stuff like that. But, it's so important to do whatever you love to do because exercise is so important for a million reasons, for your bone health and your muscle health and for your skin and for your GI tract and your immune function. There are myriad reasons to make sure you're engaging in exercise on a regular basis. So in fact, I included in my 6 daily threes, which is you can find on my website on plantbaseddietitian.com. Basically, you want to have a little bit of dose. You want to be moving more. You could use the watch or the any kind of step counter so you can get some inspiration. That really helps. But you want to walk, move, stand instead of sit. I do that very often when I'm working. And doing whatever you love. You want to work on your agility and your balance and flexibility and strength and cardiovascular endurance. So incorporate different types of exercise, whatever it is that you love to do, just make sure you do it. And Crystal asked for quick, filling, and tasty lunch ideas that won't scare her husband away from plant-based. And I love that question because nobody should be scared of eating more plants, right? Because they are so healthful. And most of us eat plant foods anyway, plant recipes anyway. Most of us grew up eating stuff like oatmeal or a peanut butter and jelly sandwich even. Not that I'm recommending that as a health food, but pasta primavera or a bean and rice burrito. So we all have included these foods in our diet. It's just a matter of kind of thinking about it a little differently. So the stuff that I would encourage you to try to give your husband for lunches that are really filling as you ask for and delicious will be something like a burrito bowl or just a burrito. You could put beans, you could do the refried beans with salsa, and you could put guacamole and rice, and it can be so satiating and delicious. You could always add some vegetables in there, or you could just pack it up into a burrito. You could also do one of the best, most heartiest meals you could do are soups. So you could do a hearty chili, or you could do we have a mushroom wild biscuit. We have some really perfect recipes in perfect, that's what I think, in the health span solution. They're so good to be, for the go, to have on the go. So you could pack them up into a thermos and send him to work with him. And that's one way to start. Just keep it simple and stuff that he loves to eat, and just, you could option in stuff like, you can grind up mushrooms to make it into like a ground meat kind of texture. If he's looking for the texture, mushrooms are wonderful. You can use them in so many different ways. So I always stick to soups, bowls, but there's so many ways to do bowls too. You could do an Asian style bowl with rice and stir fry veggies, and you can add, whatever the sauce kind of makes the dish. So play around with sauces as well. And you could use those really cool bento boxes to send him with different options, that he can kind of enjoy at a meal. So it doesn't have to be one thing. You can kind of play with that too. So thank you all so much for your questions, and please reach out to me on social media, or you could DM me or reach out on my website, plantbaseddietitian.com. Remember that you are quite literally what you eat, and that every bite matters. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.